Today is my birthday, and even leaving work seemed earlier than usual. I rushed home excitedly. Mary had already mentioned that she would prepare a big feast to celebrate my special day.
Go wash your hands. Dinner's ready.
As soon as I put down my bag, Mary's voice came from behind.
Lydia, feeling happy, huh? A birthday just means you're a year older. Where's your boyfriend?
I threw an apple at him. Don't bring up things that shouldn't be mentioned. He caught the apple skillfully and took a bite.
Old maid.
All right, your sister isn't that old. What's the rush? But you should focus on your career instead of dating. Be careful, the girl might think you're not ambitious enough.
John patted David on the shoulder. David pouted at me and tossed something my way.
Birthday present.
The sun must be rising from the west. The miser is actually giving gifts. I joked as I opened the bag he handed me. It was a tube of lipstick from a popular brand, in a shade of red that I liked. It must have cost around $300, which was acceptable.
Not even a thank you?
I put the lipstick in my bag and headed to my room. I'll get you a skin for your game on your birthday. Don't make me say thank you.
3 skins.
Don't push your luck. David and I are siblings, only 2 years apart. We've always had a love-hate relationship. Though he has a sharp tongue, under my guidance, he's turned out all right. I guessed he bought the lipstick after sneaking a look at my social media. Dinner was filled with our banter, making the atmosphere lively. John and Mary laughed along, and my birthday ended in such a cheerful mood. Lying in bed, I finally picked up my phone, which I hadn't touched all afternoon. In the new friends section of WeChat, a red circle caught my eye. I clicked on it and saw a sweet smiling girl. I recognized her. David had shown me her photo months ago, asking for my opinion on his taste.
Lydia, what do you think of her?
If she likes you, she must have severe nearsightedness and astigmatism. Now it seemed David was quite lucky. She must have added me to wish me a happy birthday after hearing about it from David. I accepted the request, and a message quickly followed.
Are you David's sister?
I replied. Yes, I am.
I heard it's your birthday today, and he gave you a lipstick?
Yes, he did. Why?
That lipstick costs over $300. Do you know how much he earns in a month? You should return it, it's really expensive.
I was baffled, holding my phone. Was she telling me what to do? Are you his girlfriend?
Yes, I suggested the lipstick to him, but since it's pricey, I didn't ask him to buy it for me.
I was as shocked as her last exclamation mark. In all my years, I'd never encountered something like this. Does David know you're doing this? I'm his sister.
Exactly, because you're his sister, I'm asking you to do this. As his close family, you should understand how hard it is for him to earn money. How about you return it and give him the cash instead?
Every word from her was unexpected, making me sit up from my relaxed position. Do you realize what you're saying?
Sister, I know it's rude of me to come to you like this, but I'm thinking of him. He's only been working for a few years and isn't well off.
I was speechless and gently reminded her. Of course, I know David's situation. He's not at the point where a lipstick would bankrupt him. Besides, it's a birthday gift from him. Wouldn't it be inappropriate to return it?
As his sister, you should understand him. He told me you treat him well. I believe you won't refuse me, right?
This was emotional blackmail. The lipstick was a gift from David, not her. How could she have the nerve to interfere? Seeing my silence, another message popped up. Emily's messages took a sharp turn.
David said you were generous and treated him well. I guess that's all fake, huh? You can't even return a lipstick. Have you never seen $100 lipstick before?
Lydia was astounded. Their family had always valued the tradition of gift-giving. It was a gesture of love and care. How dare Emily criticize their way of interacting? Determined to get to the bottom of this, Lydia headed to the study. David was inside, playing a game.
What's up?
Lydia decided to approach the topic indirectly.
Didn't you show me a girl's photo last time? How's it going? Did you win her over?
Oh, you mean Emily? She's my girlfriend now. Why?
Lydia hesitated, wondering if revealing Emily's behavior would affect their relationship.
How's it going? When are you planning to bring her home to meet us?
If you're asking that, I should ask you, how much of a red envelope are you preparing for her?
David grinned, clearly pleased with his relationship.
Don't worry, Emily is quite frugal, but she's the only child at home, so she's a bit spoiled. But it's all minor stuff.
Lydia glanced at her constantly vibrating phone. Emily's messages kept coming.
Aren't you already working? How can you accept a gift from your brother, who is scrimping and saving? How can you be so shameless? If you don't return it, I'll tell David that you scolded me over a lipstick.
Over and over, Emily's point was clear: she wanted the lipstick returned and the money given back to David.
Go ahead and tell him.
Lydia set Emily's messages to do not disturb. The incident had ruined her mood. To avoid unnecessary trouble, Anna chose not to tell David about this. After all, it was their life together. Anna usually worked and planned to buy her own place and move out soon, so less interaction was better.
By the way, Lydia, let's go out for a meal in a few days. Mom's not in great health, and I told her not to make a big fuss for your birthday today. Plus, I just got a bonus recently.
Anna recalled today's meal, which was indeed a bit off compared to previous years. However, she wasn't picky about food, so she didn't mind.
How much do you make a month? Don't spend recklessly.
Don't worry. No matter how tight things are, I can still afford a meal. Shall we compare paychecks?
David winked at her, convincing Anna that his financial situation wasn't as dire as Lydia had suggested. Only then did she agree to his request. When the appointed time arrived, Anna went to the private room at the restaurant.
Where's David?
He said he wanted us to meet his girlfriend, so he went to pick her up.
Emily? Anna's heart sank. It seemed fate had brought them together again. Within 10 minutes, David walked in with a girl in a black dress. The girl had similar features to the one in the WeChat photos, though the photos had heavy filters. In person, she looked like a pampered child, with a touch of innocent charm.
Mom, Dad, this is Emily.
Emily immediately started greeting everyone sweetly. When she glanced at Anna, her eyes flickered, but she still greeted her.
Anna!
Have a seat.
It wasn't that Anna was deliberately cold to her, but she couldn't muster any warmth after recalling the things Emily had said to her. Emily sat next to Anna's mom, who seemed surprised that her son had found a girlfriend. She started asking Emily all sorts of questions and even whispered to Anna's dad for his wallet. She then left the room, probably to prepare a red envelope. Anna's dad didn't say much. Despite Emily's aggressive behavior on WeChat, she was like a little bunny in real life. A few uncle and auntie remarks, and Anna's parents were already charmed.
Lydia, what do you think?
While everyone was talking, David messaged Anna on WeChat. Anna looked up at him, and he gave her a mischievous grin. She was speechless. If he saw the messages Emily had sent her, she wondered if he'd still think of her as an adorable sweetheart. Anna weakly gave him a thumbs up and then slumped over the table.
Lydia, sit up straight. What kind of behavior is that?
Anna's father, a lifelong teacher, couldn't stand anyone slouching at the table. His authoritative tone made her sit up straight immediately. Emily witnessed everything and looked at Anna with a hint of mockery in her eyes. Later that evening, Anna was reflecting on her day.
Some people my age already have kids, while I'm still getting scolded for slouching at my desk.
Emily turned her attention to Anna.
Isn't today your birthday, Anna?
Yes, I'm 26 or 27.
It's 27. 26 was a few days ago.
I added you on WeChat a few days ago, Anna. You haven't forgotten, have you?
Anna widened her eyes in shock. Was she serious?
Added my sister? How did you get her contact? Are you Sherlock Holmes?
You gave Anna a lipstick a few days ago, right? I think something that expensive shouldn't be accepted. She's your sister and should be looking out for you. Don't you agree, Anna?
The room froze. Anna glanced at her parents, who were clearly uncomfortable.
Besides, David, Anna is already 27. She should buy what she likes herself. Your money shouldn't be spent on her hobbies. Anna, don't you think so?
Anna was put on the spot again and didn't know what to say.
You might not understand, Emily. In our family, there's no distinction between older and younger. As long as someone has the financial means, they can buy whatever they want and give it to whomever they please. They're siblings. Even if there's no gift, the thought counts.
Let's eat. The food will get cold.
Uncle, Aunt, I'm just stating facts. If Anna had received something worth a few bucks, I wouldn't have said anything. But that lipstick costs over $300. Anna, if you don't want to return it, you could give the money back to David.
Anna was stunned. She looked at David, who appeared ashen.
So, Emily, you're saying David can only give his sister something worth a few bucks, and that's all Lydia deserves?
Anna quickly tried to smooth things over.
All right. It's just a lipstick. I haven't even used it yet. I'll give it back to David later.
That's great, Anna. I thought you were reluctant since you hadn't responded for days. David, why are you looking at me like that? I'm just concerned about you. Besides, if you return the money, I can add a bit more and buy that dress I've been eyeing.
Anna picked up her teacup, feeling exasperated.
Get out.
Anna looked at the crab in her hand.
Dad, are you upset that I'm eating too fast?
David, take your girlfriend and leave.
Uncle, Aunt, I'm not wrong. This is the truth.
Emily, shut up.
Emily, looking like a delicate flower, stared at David in confusion.
Are you yelling at me?
Are you leaving or not? David, take care of your issues and come back later.
David grabbed Emily's hand and led her out. Her complaints still echoed in Anna's ears.
David, your sister agreed. Why are you being so harsh? Are you crazy?
Anna sat in her chair, feeling a mix of emotions. David had been single for a long time and had put a lot of effort into pursuing Emily.
Isn't that girl too full of herself? Who spoiled her?
Anna didn't know whether to continue eating the crab or not.
All right, you've already sent them away. Besides, David isn't a fool. He knows what's important.
Lydia, did she really ask you to return the lipstick?
Anna didn't dare lie. She told him everything.
In our family, we never return what we've bought. Is that girl missing a screw? Where did David find her? Another online game?
People in games are more interesting. Besides, with his poor gaming skills, he couldn't even carry a girl.
David is treating us today. Eat well.
Of course. Last time, he even asked me for sneakers. How could I not eat my fill?
Just as Anna finished speaking, David returned. His face didn't look good.
Lydia, why didn't you tell me about this?
Adults don't hold grudges against children. Besides, I didn't know she was so persistent. Hey, David, have you ever suggested she run a marathon? She's got such determination.
David didn't respond and stuffed a mouthful of food into his mouth.
Did you break up?
Yes. I used to think she just had a spoiled personality. I didn't realize she was so selfish. If we don't break up, she'll tear our family apart.
Hearing this, Anna finally felt relieved. Lydia entered the room, her gaze fixed on Emily, who sat with a smug expression.
Emily, what do you think you're doing here?
Just making sure you and your brother get the message. I want my $300.
Lydia sighed, her patience wearing thin.
We've already discussed this. I'm not giving you any money. You need to move on.
Move on. Not until I get what's mine.
Lydia took a deep breath, trying to remain calm. Lydia sat at her desk, staring at her phone, deep in thought.
Sister, I know it's rude of me to come to you like this, but I'm thinking of him. He's only been working for a few years and isn't well off.
Of course, I know David's situation. He's not at the point where a lipstick would bankrupt him. Besides, it's a birthday gift from him. Wouldn't it be inappropriate to return it?
As his sister, you should understand him. He told me you treat him well. I believe you won't refuse me, right?
Lydia felt the emotional pressure building. The lipstick was a gift from David, not Emily. How could she have the nerve to interfere? Before she could reply, another message popped up.
2,800? She spent that much in a month with me. I make 30,000 a month, not counting bonuses. She must be exaggerating.
Even through the screen, I could sense David's exasperation. It made sense, he's always been carefree and proud. Why would he lie about his salary being only 2,800?
Did she spend your money? Why is she still chasing after $300? She even said you only bought her cheap stuff from street vendors and then borrowed money from her. Now that you've broken up, she's demanding you pay her back.
Emily's blog post was quite something. It even got me riled up. I found it strange. Could it be that David didn't spend money on her, and that's why she resorted to this?
She's out of her mind. Maybe she thinks buying you things wasn't worth it. By the way, when she was with me, she often said, "What's yours is mine." Maybe she thinks you spent her money.
David's logic, though a bit humorous, wasn't entirely off. Isn't it common for some men to think that after marriage, everything the woman owns is theirs? This was just a gender reversal. I hung up the phone and began my counterattack. Since she wanted to use blog posts to put us in the spotlight, I'd respond in kind. I took screenshots of my chat with Emily, highlighting the key points, and asked David for some of their chat records where she asked for things. David didn't disappoint and even sent me some shopping receipts. These were receipts from a high-end store, showing purchases of skincare products, shoes, bags, and dresses, each costing thousands. Even if I were buying for myself, I'd have to consider whether I'd be eating instant noodles for the rest of the month. The more I looked, the angrier I got. I called David to scold him.
You spend over $10,000 a month on her, yet you tell me you're broke and ask me to buy you shoes?
Wasn't she my girlfriend? Didn't you all say I shouldn't be stingy with girls? She was so obedient back then.
Did she say things like, "You're my favorite brother, I won't let you be unhappy"? That must have been delightful.
I could imagine how a single man in his 20s would be utterly smitten after falling into such a tender trap. Emily, with her sweet talk and cunning, would have David willingly paying for everything. It was a foregone conclusion. Despite my anger, I focused on the task at hand. I compiled the chat records, filled with offensive and vulgar language, which only fueled my anger further. Unreasonable and crude were my only impressions of Emily now. If I hadn't seen it myself, I wouldn't believe such a sweet girl could say such things. After organizing my thoughts, I posted the blog. Let's see who gets discredited now. My evidence not only clears David's name from being a stingy low earner but also removes the label of vanity from me. Even though my salary isn't as high as David's, buying a lipstick is no big deal. In Emily's eyes, our family seemed like we were living on welfare, especially with how my parents treated her that day, as if David was suffering because of me, without considering if she was the problem. Due to the popularity of Emily's blog post, Lydia's clarification post quickly gained traction. Soon, the notification bell rang continuously.
Let's see what people are saying now.
When Lydia checked, the comments that had previously sided with Emily finally saw the light.
So that's how it is. I was wondering how there could still be such a naive person being bullied.
Thank goodness the truth came out. Who knows how things would have escalated otherwise.
Can I get the contact info of that guy making $3,000 a month? My family has been honest farmers for 3 generations.
Lydia replied to the third comment, just in case some girl got charmed and deceived by David. Turning back to Emily's blog, Lydia saw that she had deleted her post again. But unlike last time, it seemed she did it herself.
Everyone, please don't be angry. Don't try to find out who that girl is, and definitely don't harass her. She's still young. Please let her be.
Lydia pinned this comment to the top and smugly went to find David.
These people are fast. Someone already found Emily's address.
David remarked while scrolling through his social media feed.
Don't worry. Emily is just vain and a bit thoughtless. She hasn't done anything truly terrible. Once the hype dies down, it'll be forgotten. The internet has no memory.
True, she hasn't done anything truly terrible, but she has bullied stray dogs and taken money from elementary school kids. Her personal information has been dug up, and now, apart from not knowing her entire ancestry, people know all her dirty secrets.
Now, the netizens probably know more about Emily than you, her ex, ever did.
Absolutely. I never knew she worked as a bar hostess, charging $1,800 for a bottle of wine and $3,000 for a meal. She almost got into serious trouble once.
David showed Lydia his phone, and sure enough, there were photos of Emily with her flamboyant hairstyle, looking like a rainbow exploded on her head. There were also pictures of her dining with various men.
Are you sure you never had a $3,000 meal with her?
David frowned, seemingly deep in thought. Lydia also had to thank John. Back in the day, when only one of his eyes worked, she was a rebellious teenager. He sent her to get a mushroom haircut, which saved her from having any embarrassing photos surface during the recent online harassment. Later, Lydia heard that Emily had gone back home. She wasn't a local, just stayed after college for a job. She thought she could settle down with someone as naive as David, but her foolishness ruined it all.
Lydia, what shade of lipstick do you want next year?
David showed Lydia a picture of a girl and casually asked.
Get out!
Lydia politely threw David out of her room, along with his phone.